14 of the 365-day project, we are going to discuss in detail about influenza. Influenza, commonly known as the flu, affects millions of people each year throughout the world. Influenza is a respiratory tract infection which is caused by the influenza virus. The virus is circulating in all parts of the world. Hence, influenza is an international disease. To understand the nature of a disease, we need to know more about the pathogen causing the disease. Influenza viruses belong to the family of Orthomyxoviridae. There are 4 types of influenza viruses, namely type A, type B, type C and type D. The type A and type B influenza strains are mostly responsible for the seasonal epidemics occurring throughout the world. The type A influenza virus has proteins on its surface, namely heme agglutinin or the HA protein and neuroaminidase or the NA protein. The HA protein initiates infection after the virus is attached itself to a suspectable host cell or the cell it's gonna infect. The NA protein causes release of the virus from the infected cell. The type A influenza virus is further classified into subtypes based on the combinations of the HA protein and the NA protein. The currently circulating type A influenza viruses are AH3N2, AH1N1, which caused the first global influenza pandemic since 1968 in 2009. It emerged from Mexico. It was of swine origin and is spread throughout the world through travelers. The type B influenza virus causes a milder form of infection in comparison with the type A virus. The type C virus also causes a milder form of infection and it is seen very rarely. Type D influenza viruses affects cattle and not humans. Antigens are structures which are present on the surface of a virus. They are recognized by the host and in turn an immune response is generated by the host involving production of antibodies against the virus. Antibodies should be produced against the HA protein and the NA protein. These two are very essential in conferring immunity against influenza. Antibodies directed against the HA protein will offer resistance to initiation of infection, hence neutralizing the virus. Whereas antibodies directed against the NA protein is responsible for decreasing the severity of the disease and causing decreased transmission to other people. Antibodies found in the serum as well as antibodies found in the nasal secretion both are very important in offering protection. Serum antibodies persist for a long time, whereas the antibodies in the nasal secretion known as secretory antibodies is very short-lived, but it is very essential in preventing infection. Production starts at around day 7 after the attack and it reaches a maximum in the second week. After 8 to 12 months, the antibody level falls to a pre-infection level. Antibodies ultimately change the course of illness. So, if you have a low titer of antibodies, you will experience only a milder form of infection. All the types of influenza virus are distinct. Hence, there is no cross immunity among the different types of virus. For example, if you have antibodies against one type of influenza virus, doesn't mean you will not be infected or you'll have immunity against another type of influenza virus. Minor changes occurring in the antigen gradually over a period of time is known as genetic drift. Whereas genetic shift means there is a sudden or a major change in the virus. Genetic shift occurs when there is genetic recombination between human influenza strains and animals or avian influenza strains. Even animals and birds are infected by these influenza viruses and they have these influenza virus strains in them. So such animal reservoirs will provide a new strain of virus by allowing recombination between human influenza strains, animal or avian influenza strains. Genetic shift provides a major change to the virus, ultimately resulting in the new strain of a virus. This new strain of virus will circulate in the community. Most of the people are not immune to this strain. Hence, many people will be affected by the virus. Attack rates will be high and there will be increased severity in the disease. This will result in the initiation of an epidemic or a pandemic. Once the epidemic sets in, there will be a few early cases followed by sudden outburst of the disease.